we wanted to have kind of a real-time video effects kind of processing, like kind of the effects you might see in a image editing program on a PC. So this is an embossing effect, and if you just hit the R1 button, you cycle through all the different effects, or you can just let them cycle through on their own over time, and they'll do that. This is kind of a color tracking one. And if I tell it to track this color like I have before, then you see little sparkles coming out of the color, and actually that paints in the color of the scene. So I can kind of bring the color of the backdrop in by just painting it with that object I'm tracking. And it's actually the little sparkles that are doing the painting. So if I clear it back to gray, you can see wherever the sparkles are, that actually is what's painting the scene. It's kind of like a spray brush or something. So this is a color quantization effect to give you kind of an oil painting effect. It's hard to do on video because you get that kind of shimmer. This is a kind of a weird black light filter, which leaves certain colors one color and leaves certain colors longer. Just gives you kind of a nightclub feel or something. This is just a blur effect to give you kind of a very blurry image. This is a edge detection effect, so you can just see the edges in the scene highlighted. This is another kind of an edge detection effect. Gives you kind of a weird, almost woodblock filter. This is a background subtraction effect, so if I step off the camera again, take a picture, pushing the L1 button as before, now I have this kind of subtraction of the live video from this snapshot. And that's why you can see just me kind of highlighted. And with that, you can do these kind of fake green screen effect. It's hard to do in this kind of low light situation here, but let me try that again with picture. Not going to get a good enough picture here. And with that, though, you can do target tracking. So you can see it's kind of putting a crosshairs on me, so that's how we can do some tracking if we would want. You can also do motion blur, like is in the Kung Fu game already. And with the motion blur and the color quantization mixed together, you get this kind of color bleed effect where it just looks like the colors of my body bleed from one place to the next, which is kind of a neat effect. This is a spider's effect. So these little spiders just kind of bounce around moving, and they stick to my face. So if I move my hand up here and wipe them off, now they're stuck to my hands. And I move them around. You can kind of, this is a fun one to do. You can push them onto your friend and leave them on there. One of my favorite things to do with this one is to get them on my face and then come up real close. Get a kind of crazy effect. So this is the raw chrominance output of the camera. You can see it's kind of blocky because the video has to be compressed on the camera. And this is the other chrominance, again blocky and grainy because of being compressed on the camera. This is kind of a weird like liquidy filter that we made. It just when you move past stuff, it looks kind of liquidy as you go past something. These are all just neat effects for no real purpose whatsoever. And this one, let me take that picture again. See, this is kind of like a hollow filter. I look hollow inside. So maybe we'll cut that one. One other thing that you can do, we can show with this, is that the video is actually just a texture to the PlayStation. So we can actually do anything we want with that video. So I can take that video and put it on lots of different polygons and move it all sorts of crazy ways. And I can even drive through it and get all these kind of weird tunnel effects. And again, it's just a texture. You could have it on thousands of different polygons in your game if you wanted to. It doesn't matter.